bunch of other people. So then we're running around like maniacs, and it's this one we come stay with me. So I stayed with her. And then they actually found me. Now they're on the track with everything except for my path, everything except for my what do you call it?
Traveler's
checks. My Euro pass was there on cuts.
Me and somebody else. I was we had storage in the basement of our apartment where you keep all the bikes and stuff. Bikes, storage, stuff you can't fit in your living room. And those got broken into. Everybody got their stuff stolen. Even us. Except they left my Fender Telecaster guitar in the elevator.
In the elevator?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because they think they're going to get caught.
I don't know why, because they got away with everything else. But they're like, I don't like guitar. I don't want to be a rock star. I'm robbing places, not robbing parts.
They could have sold that.
Yeah, no, they left that behind.
The wedding's starting in 12 minutes. If anybody would like a hot coffee, it's dark roast from the Snug Cafe. You're welcome to help yourself. It's just my dog. I know. Like, they didn't even worry. Crazy. Okay, I'm gonna get food Everybody just hot coffee. If anybody wants hot coffee, there's some right here. Dark roast, cream and milk.
Walking around and just moved 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we did move there. We saw something we really liked, but we don't know. How far up?
And it rained, and I was like,
Yeah, we're in the force. With a single notice. I mean, it's only us that's outside.
Who's the MC?
I usually go to Kaplan.
Yeah, I recognize you.
Oh, great!
That's hilarious. I haven't seen this in a long time. Like 10 years ago, but it probably really is the sequence.
Yeah.
Which it does feel like 10 years ago. Last time I went.
Portable.
Yeah, it's
To get to your next class, you go.
I went to the office on 2 days during that real nasty day. Like Monday, I was like, I can't do down there. So I went on Tuesday.
Somebody tell me your story.
So, well, it sounds like that.
I've been there most since then, really.
You're off to a restart. It's actually, I don't know if you remember, but the station is spot on. I was one of those people who was going a couple months ago, so I was really content with being at home, and I still have lots of benefits for me, but I will for sure go back 1 or 2 days a week. Connection and
hopefully, I don't know, start taking September, I Take me 7 now. Yeah, I'm
This person is getting
I found one. Hopefully if she gets in September, then back. Yes, summer has been good. I think September will be great. That I think I'll be like, I don't know.
help them understand the financial aspects of their project.
Yeah. It's a last race. Yes, I know. It's because they don't want ramifications. It's good. It's good to know I've got my options.
What's the name of it?
How they let you through, I don't know.
Oh, into YouTube. Yeah, awesome. Line turning up the office.
They bought that site, or they have that site, and I think, I don't know. I'll check my work.
Starter.
The wineries.
Well, that's what
Oh my gosh, you gotta do. I mean, you have to like wine, but also helps.
so far.
I know, I just
So it's
but
share a tasting with
I
somebody.
didn't put it away. barefoot.
I'll look into somebody organization on that.
It's just a nice linen when we can still have a outdoor painting.
I suppose that was my focus.
This, I'm going to move out of the way.
My brain said more. My brain's closed. Okay. Well, maybe it's this one or another one that I had to watch.
Yeah, you just get the photos. It's like, oh, she's having a good time.
How's it going? Good, how are you? Good. No, I think we went to your house. Last time we were getting into that really, I told you about the full water into that one spot. Yeah. Like, you ready for it? It's gonna hurt. Like, yeah. That was just I had it too. Yeah. And done with it. I know it's nice. They don't have that one where they dump the leg back and right into the glute or the butt, right below. You're right here, right between your butt down and the top of your thigh there behind. Yeah. I'm like, just go with it. Just like, for me, I didn't scream out. Just scream with it. You know what's coming. You check past it. It's like,
I heard an alarm.
I'm out of that now. I work for Walmart. Same job. Well, you might as well do that. So what do you do? So it's like government related, so you like a mod. So it's just doing that. It's not really something. It's like lots of layoffs. People thought I was going to be like when I did it 2 years ago, and it's like kind of like leveled out, like got more realistic. So I figured like if I wanted stability, so I feel like it's like the largest company in the they're not, you know, Okay, so yeah, it's been good. I've only been there for a few weeks, so you Yeah, I work from home. I'm like, because everybody's based in Mississauga. So, not yet. We're gonna go at the end of the month, so like, if you need it in like Montreal. Okay. We'll be traveling in like West Week. I was really excited because we were talking with our US counterparts, and they're like, yeah, once a year everybody goes to Washington DC for like a big time. Yeah. He's like, well, here's me at the White House. I'm like, what? Yeah, we can go to the White House. And then I think it'll end up in, because their headquarters is in Arkansas, so yeah. I've been Don't tell Allison that. I told her what I said. I'm like, hey, how do you feel about Arkansas? She's like, but you can
that I've been reminded of. Turn yourself
oh, Memphis. Go to Memphis if you can.
sounds, because that'll
Yeah, I'll try to go on
disruptive.
Pack on it.
If anyone needs the bathroom, it's upstairs in the house on the ground floor behind the TV. And there's one other. Oh, it's a septic system, so be cautious with how much you flush. I think was the other housekeeping.
So, yeah.
That was only like a big
Oh.
so we went in.
Were you hungry?
Yeah. But there was no dog. So we had to try so you could get those
Like simulcast.
like, do you want to make them dogs? But
This? You tell me. Can you hear me? Stand closer.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole can't help falling in love with you.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome everyone to Fred and Laura's wedding today. I actually think it's quite fitting that it's raining today because Fred and Laura are so deeply connected to this rainforest that we live in, and today, on their wedding day, the sky is gifting the earth and all living beings with droplets of love and nourishment. I would like to acknowledge all the friends and family who are joining us here today from near and far, including Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Vancouver, Edinburgh, throughout England, as well as many other places. I would particularly like to acknowledge Laura's family, who is here with us on Bowen Island, and Fred's family, who can't be here in person with us but are joining us through pictures, as well as online digitally from England, including Fred's mom, Jenny, his dad, Robin, Robin's wife, Janet, Fred's sister, Mary, and her husband and daughter, John and Elsie, Fred's best man, and brother, Matt, and Matt's fiancée, Christina. The fact that so many of you have come together in so many forms, including through technology, is truly a testament to the amazing love and support that Fred and Laura have. You have all given them much happiness, warmth, and guidance throughout the many chapters of their lives. Today is not a new beginning, but an acknowledgement of the next chapter of their lives together. Today is a celebration of love. The love between Fred and Laura, the love between them and their families, and the love that we all have for them. I would like to invite Laura's mom, Penny, to share a poem by Hilary T. Smith titled Wild Awake.
Wedding poem. People are like cities. We all have alleys and gardens and secret rooftops and places where daisies sprout between the sidewalk cracks. But most of the time, all we let each other see is a postcard glimpse of a skyline or a polished square. Love lets you find those hidden places in another person, even the ones they didn't know were there, even the ones they wouldn't have thought to call beautiful themselves.
Thank you so much, Penny. That was really beautiful. Thank you for sharing it. Scooch it. I've spent a lot of time over the past months thinking about Laura and Fred, and what an incredibly beautiful couple they are. I fondly remember all of the stories Laura would tell me at work about this guy in her running club, and then the day when she told me that he just wasn't any guy in her running club, but her forever person. And then I remember the first moment that I met Fred at the airport when Laura and I had just come home from a conference in Moncton. The way they looked at each other that day. The way they look at each other today, with such profound love. When I think about them as individuals, I inevitably think about them as a couple. Many months ago, I came across a poem, and it took my breath away because it reminded me of Fred and Laura. I'd like to share with you Our Souls Are Mirrors by Rupi Kaur. The Creator must have kneaded you and I from the same dough, rolled us out as one on the baking sheet, must have suddenly realized how unfair it was to put that much magic in one person, and sadly split that dough in two. How else is it that when I look in the mirror, I am looking at you? When I breathe, your lungs fill with air. That we have just known each other that we have just met, but we have known each other our whole lives if we were not made as one. Laura and Fred, you are magic. You were created together and filled with such love and kindness. You are also individuals with lives and stories that you are bringing with you to this marriage. Marriage is not the start of your story, but a commitment to a life with each other, to the best that two people can find and bring out in each other. Marriage offers opportunities for sharing and growth that no other human relationship can equal. It is a commitment that is promised for a lifetime. A good marriage must be created. It is about bringing your experiences, your full and true selves forward. It is giving yourselves to each other and to your life together. It is about sharing moments of happiness, sadness, weakness, and strength. Marriage is about never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say I love you at least once a day and kissing each other goodnight. It is doing things for each other, not because of obligation, but because you want to. It is expressing appreciation for each other and demonstrating gratitude. It is about seeing perfection in each other and loving the imperfection. It is about having a lifelong running companion, adventure partner, and cheerleader. It is having someone to watch the sunrise with, to reach the mountaintop with, smell the sweet air, and dance in the ocean with. Marriage is about standing together to face the world, to hold each other up, lean on each other, and celebrate each other. It is living your life with unabandoned love for each other. I would like to now invite you both to join me in exchanging vows. Laura, do you take Fred to be your husband? Do you promise to love him in good times and in bad, when life seems easy and when it is hard, when your love is simple and when it is an effort? Do you promise to cherish and respect him, offering him your trust and encouragement as together you create your future?
I do.
Fred, do you take Laura to be your wife? Do you promise to love her in good times and in bad, when life seems easy and when it seems hard, when your love is simple and when it is an effort? Do you promise to cherish and respect her, offering her your trust and encouragement as together you create your future?
I do.
Laura and Fred have also written personal vows, and I'd like to invite them to share them now. Laura, we'll start with you.
Thank you. Thank you for being my home, my oak tree, and the person who I get to walk, run, and play alongside. I will honor you and myself, emotionally, intellectually, socially, and playfully, as we grow alongside one another, supporting each other to be our best selves, and for it to be okay when we're not. I will love you unconditionally, even in the moments when life will be messy and hard. I promise to always support you and cheer you on, living to your fullest, full of learning, gardening, ice cream, and mayonnaise. Not together. Play and possibility. I promise to create time and space for you to bimble away. I promise to have chocolate in the house, or if not, to make sure to get some. I love the little and big things about you, from your childlike giggle as you sledge down a snowy mountain, to trail running and hiking alongside one another, to your pure joy when a little bird arrives at the feeder, or you see a new growth in the garden, to our debates on critical and global issues, to your wise mind and your big heart. I love the depth of intention you put into everything that you do, even when it means sometimes you need to take triple the amount of time to do dishes, because you remove every little part, whereas mine may not be always the best. I appreciate the way you practice acts of care, from leaving strawberries from the garden with I love you sticky notes for me after my early morning work calls, to always checking in if I have my bike lights, to listening as I yammer on about children's rights, play, and social justice, to placing my twist tie engagement ring in mold so we can keep it, to growing sunflowers in the seeds, from seeds, and placing them by my window, to the best of hugs. I promise to be here to lean on, from yesterday when you needed my shoulder to fix your shoe, to bigger moments, and to raise one another up. Mostly though, I love you, and I'm grateful for you every day, for you as you, for the incredible, amazing man I get to wake up to in the morning and go to sleep to next at night, to get to spend my days with my love, my partner, my husband, and my friend.
These vows represent our connection and our lives together.
As such, it's fitting that you set a very high bar for me to follow. Thank you for being my sunflower, for being the light in my life through the bright times and the dark. The way you accept me for who I am makes it so much easier for me to accept myself. I promise to stand behind you as your biggest supporter through career, academic, emotional and physical challenges. As you put so much care and energy into other people, always putting others before yourself, I will be the balance to put you first, whether you like it or not. To bring calm when life is stressful. To bring energy when life feels stuck. To listen when you have things to say. And to try my best to keep up when it's time to get moving. I promise, both literally and figuratively, to pick you up if you fall and to clean your wounds. And I know from experience that you'll do that for me. I promise to keep you entertained with bad jokes and puns for as long as you keep laughing at them, and maybe a little bit more. I promise that we'll never be too old for Lego, or Muppets, or spontaneous dancing in the kitchen. I know that as two very independent people, we inevitably have some differences of opinion. And I promise to never forget that our differences are tiny in comparison to all of the things we have in common. And that compromise so often takes me to interesting places I would otherwise not encounter. These are commitments I take extremely seriously, yet I make them with a feeling of ease and lightness, because you make it so easy to love you. Are we allowed?
It's your wedding. You can do whatever you want today. Thank you both. That was goosebumps from my head to my toe. And for anyone who is in a relationship, good reminders of what it is to truly love someone. So this is the part of the ceremony where we usually talk about wedding bands being a perfect circle with no beginning and no end. But we know that these rings do have a beginning. Rock is dug up from the earth. Metal is liquefied in a furnace at 1,000 degrees, then molded, cooled, and polished. Something beautiful is made from something raw. Love is like that. It comes from humble beginnings, made by imperfect beings. It's a process of making something beautiful where there was once nothing at all. As we know, Fred's best man, Matt, couldn't join us today, but a good friend, Rosie, has been carrying the rings for him. And I'd like to invite Matt and the rings and Rosie up. Thank you so much, Rosie. Nice to meet you, Matt. Okay, so we're gonna pass you that ring. So Laura, place a ring on Fred's finger and repeat after me. Fred, I give you this ring as a promise to love you forever.
Fred, I give you this ring as a promise to love you forever.
Respect your imperfections.
Respect your imperfections.
And appreciate all that makes you unique and beautiful.
Respect your imperfections and appreciate all that makes you unique and beautiful.
Perfect. Fred, place a ring on Laura's finger and repeat after me. Laura, I give you this ring as a promise to love you forever.
Laura, I give you this ring as a promise to love you forever.
Respect your imperfections.
Respect your imperfections.
And appreciate all that makes you unique and beautiful.
And
and appreciate all
that makes you unique and beautiful.
Thank you both. Okay, I'd now like to invite Fred and Laura, along with their witnesses, Ariel and Elizabeth, to sign their vows. And as we know, Matt couldn't be here to sign today, but when he's here in person, we've got a spot for him to sign the certificate. So we'll just take a moment.
Okay, so Fred and Laura, you have entered into life as a single entity, growing and learning as individuals. Every mountain you have climbed, road you have run, and hole you have fallen into has shaped you into who you are today. From this day forward, every mountain, every bump, every road, stepping stone, and hole will be climbed, jumped, walked, and run together as one. Side by side, hand in hand, hearts forever connected. Today you have promised your lives, love, and futures to each other. It is with great honor that I invite everybody to join me in celebrating Laura and Fred. It's coming.
Promise the good days will outshine the bad. Give you all that I am and all I'll ever have. Somewhere down the road when we look back and count up our riches, we'll have more memories than wishes.
I'm going to ask everyone to stay in their seats because we're going to be passing around some champagne for a toast.
The chances we take, climbing up mountains and jumping out planes, falling for each other just a little bit more every day. I promise the good days will outshine the bad. Give you all that I am and all I'll ever have. Somewhere down the road when we look back and count up our riches, we'll have more memories than wishes. There'll be more pictures and there'll be more songs. We're just getting started, so baby, hang on. I promise the good days will outshine the bad. Give you all that I am and all I'll ever have. Let the road twist and turn when we look back and count up our riches. We'll have more memories than wishes. More memories than wishes. More memories than wishes.
Is there anybody who would like a non-alcoholic bubbly?
May I?
Are you okay with a half?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I don't want to be too much of it doing this.
Anybody else?
Hi, everybody. I'm Laura's dad. Angie, I wanted just to thank you. That was absolutely beautiful and lovely. Thank you very, very much. Karen and I would like to welcome you all to our home. And for those who haven't been to Bowen Island, welcome to our beautiful island. I also would like to welcome Fred's family in the UK. Fred's dad, Robin, his wife Janet, his mom Jenny, his older brother Matt, and Christina, and also Mary and John and Elsie. Some other people I just want to like to welcome as well. Laura's cousins, Claire and Madeline, who are in California, and Kirsten and Alex, who are in Alberta with their Uncle Brian. Welcome, everybody. Just very, very quickly, some logistics for those that don't know. This is an outdoor event, but there is one thing very, very important that is inside, and that's the bathroom. It's a bit of a gross grind at the top there, and there's no tram coming down. So it's from experience, planning is important. Okay. Just a couple other logistics. Please take care of yourselves out here. It can get a little slippery on the decks, and take care of everybody today. And have a wonderful day. I wanted to share with all of you some history about our family on Bowen Island. Our family on our side, on the right side, goes back over 100 years. For those of you who've been at our cabin, it's been in our family for over 100 years. Laura's great-grandparents started renting that cabin 40 years ago. 100 years ago, and they rented it for 40 years in a row. After the summer, they'd immediately go back and rent it for another year. And then in the 60s, they had an opportunity to buy that cottage, and of course they bought it. On the other side of the family, on the Lucas side of the family, Penny's mom would come up to Bowen as a little girl, and then Laura's Nan and Papa loved it here, and they also had a chance to buy a cottage in the 60s. And so it's very much in all of our blood. And so Laura and her sisters and her mom and me and Laura's grandma have all been coming here since we were babies. So that's why we all love it here so much. I was trying to think back, because Fred and Laura, of course, love the outdoors. I'm trying to think back what would have been Laura's first hike. And I think it was probably across the lagoon, wandering from one of the cottages up to the falls, which was a big hike for everybody, up to the falls. The falls are just up here, and the waterfall runs into the lagoon. And from there, Laura ended up doing Mount Gardner and Clarny Lake and September Morn. And from there, 10Ks and 15Ks and half marathons, and ended up in the running club. And of course, that running club led her to Fred. Laura loves the outdoors, of course, but she also has an extreme sport curiosity. And I'm not sure if many of you know, but she ended up doing bungee jumping in Uganda and doing skydiving in Vancouver. So I was sort of wondering where that might have come from. And I thought back to when maybe they were really little, maybe trying to take a little credit for this. And I remember picking Elizabeth and Laura up in Sandy Beach and throwing them into the air and into the water when they were over their head, under the eyes of grandparents, very concerned. And I remember Elizabeth coming in, Laura coming back and saying to me, "Father." And I said, "What, are you guys okay? What's wrong?" And they said, "No, farther." So I had to, but I would pick them up and throw them as far as I can. And we had a lot of fun doing that. And I think we did it as long as your dad still had some energy. But you guys really loved that. And then I was thinking maybe when Elizabeth was 6 years old and 9 years old and Laura was 6, we went skiing up in Whistler, and they went into the ski school. And they loved to do that as well. But I think the first early days were difficult as they were getting adjusted to it. But between the pools and the hot chocolates and the ice creams, they slowly started to enjoy it. And from there, Laura ended up loving skiing. And so I think somewhere between those two and maybe some genes somewhere in the background, Laura became an extreme sport enthusiast. Laura also had a love for arts and crafts, which she did with her mom and with her sisters, and you'll see a lot of those arts and crafts here today as well. As a young girl, Laura knew very much what she wanted to do at a very young age. And I think a very, very special event in Laura's life was in 1992 when she went to grade 1 and she met 3 very, very important people in her lives, Adriana, Sonia, and Shauna. And these young girls have just we're wonderful young girls, and they're wonderful women. And I think they had this fabulous network between the 4 of them, and they were really able to achieve a lot at a very young age. And I remember picking them up one night at the school and bringing them back to Horseshoe Bay. And this has been after I been the cab driver for Elizabeth and her friends as well. And when you're at that and a cab driver and you're a cab driver, like there's like a sound barrier between the front seat and the back seat. It's as if you're not even there. They don't recognize, they don't know who you are. So you're a little attentive to what's been going on in the back seat, and you learn a lot. Okay, as you get older and have kids, you learn a lot. So I was waiting for what I'd heard in the past, which would have been, talking about boys, talking about music, lyrics, some gossip. But these girls, they're talking about school and the classes and where they're going in their lives. And I was about to turn the music up like I did with Elizabeth, but I just kept listening. Anyway, they're very, very fortunate to have had each other, and I think that they've all made a difference in each one of their lives, and that friendship has made a big difference in Laura's life, and has led her to where she is today, which starts with maybe we just end with the PhD. so defending her PhD in May, buying a house in June, moving in July, getting married in August. Fred, you better look at that calendar. Check and see what's there in September and October.
Don't worry, she'll keep me busy.
I'm just hoping you're going to be able to really, really now enjoy your new home, and we look forward to spending some time with you there. Laura, we love and we admire you, and we admire your kindness, your gentleness, your humility, your consideration for others, your love for the outdoors, your love for family and friends, how you look after everybody, and we love that about you. And Fred, we want to just welcome you into our lives and your family into our lives, and you guys are wonderful together. You're very, very special. So please, everybody, raise your glasses and join me in a toast to the bride and to the groom, and wishing you all the happiness and joy that life can bring you.
Thank you so much, John. And now we're going to have some speeches by Fred and Laura.
I feel like the luckiest person on the planet. And words can't truly express how grateful I am. But I'm writing a speech to read out when I'll be very overwhelmed and empty-headed, so I guess it's my job right now to find some words. I'm grateful for all of you here, in person and online, for choosing to be part of our journey together and being with us to celebrate not just this momentous day, but all of our days together. We are truly blessed to have each one of you in our lives. I'm incredibly grateful for my family, for their unending love and support in all my adventures, big and small, over the years, for being there through good times and bad. And I'm so grateful to Laura's family for welcoming me into their amazing family, for all of the care and support and celebrations. I can't thank you all enough for everything that you do for us every day. And of course, for hosting us for today and making this place and this moment so magical. Katie and Luke, thank you so much for the beautiful opening music and for making me cry again and again every time I hear it. And Angie, where is she? I think I had only met you once or twice when Laura and I agreed that you would be the perfect officiant for us. I can't even remember which one of us first voiced the idea, but I do remember that there was instant agreement. What I didn't know at the time was just how right you would be. So thank you so much for everything you've done to make this moment so special. And I have to say a thank you to our friend Cheryl in the UK, who used to live here in Vancouver, for running with me that fateful day and looking very friendly and approachable at the time when Laura quite literally ran into my life. There's someone else. Most of all, I'm grateful to my wife. There were many years that I, and I'm sure many of my friends and family, questioned whether I might ever meet the person I wanted to grow old with. Turns out I did way better than that. I met the person I want to stay young and playful and adventurous with. Laura, words can't express how lucky I feel to have met you, got to know you, fallen in love with you. I'm still shocked and grateful. I can't quite believe that you fell in love with me, especially as you make it so easy for me to drop any mask or pretense and just be myself, with all my many flaws and imperfections. For most people, getting sick with COVID and having ongoing health issues for the following 14 months would have been a nightmare. For me, it was a blessing. Locked down with you in a home filled with love, laughter, and mini adventures, and so much care. Laura, you have the biggest heart of anyone I know. The care you give to everyone around you takes my breath away. And your work ethic, the work you put in every day to make people's lives better. Your energy to go out running for the pure joy of it before jumping on a 6 a.m. work call is insane. And your tolerance of my many quirks, too numerous to list here, borders on saintly. I love your heart. I love your brain. I love your smile. I love the little things, like the hot sauce you put on everything. Seriously, who knew hot sauce was a salad dressing? I love you, even in the 100 times a day you leave the kitchen light on for me to turn off. And in every gift of a hairball you leave around the house for me to find. Somehow, even months after you've been in Scotland. I'm proud, beyond words, and humbled to be your husband. To support you in the life and to be supported by you in the life and career risks that I take. To stand beside you as your partner in life. And to stand behind you, your biggest supporter, in all of the amazing work, achievements, and adventures you have coming. Thank you. And thank you all.
It's tough to follow these two incredible men in my life. Thank you, everyone, for being here today, in person and online. With all that is going on around us, it's a pretty special thing to be able to pause and celebrate love. Love for my amazing husband, and love for all of you joining us today. Sometimes thank yous make me a little bit nervous, as I worry I'll forget to mention an act of care. So please know, I care for you all so much and appreciate everything you've done here. If I were to thank you all for everything for this wedding and in life, we'd be here way past dark. So I'll keep it to a few words, but know it means much more than that. For Fred's family joining us online, here and in the front row, in pictures and in the bunting that surrounds us, thank you, Mary. Well, I was so grateful for your welcoming me into the fold so warmly when I first visited the UK. To Zoom WhatsApp chats, emails of encouragement, invites for me to come and stay and have a place to be whenever I was in Edinburgh. Thank you for raising and contributing to an incredible, thoughtful, big-hearted, and wise human that Fred is today, and sharing him with me. I'm so grateful. To my family, Mom, thank you for the countless hours of finding and making decorations, and saying you actually love doing it. For Chris, managing the sound, and Dad and Karen hosting us in their home and all the work that goes into that. For Sho and Ariel, for the photos and care. For Lizzie, coordinating bridal showers and bachelorettes with Sonia and everyone else who was involved. And Stu being here as a champ to set up and run around this morning. To friends and colleagues for offering any last-minute bits, to picking up clear umbrellas for us and racing around. For everyone who came today, I know many of you hired sitters for children, for dogs. It took much energy to be here. And some came on very special birthdays, like Laura Lee here. Happy birthday. To Katie and Luke. Katie, one of the first friends I met in Edinburgh. And when I stayed with you for a week, you asked, is it okay if I play music? I just need to do it each day. And I thought, I'm so grateful to be at a concert every day I'm staying with you. The heart and soul radiates as you sing, and it's truly beautiful. To Erin, if you're joining us online from our Chester Street crew, you didn't know we were using your band song for our walk out, but thank you for singing it. Angie, words can't describe. The thought, time, and energy you put in to today, all the magical moments, and for being a friend for 10 years this year. Angie and I first met at a summer course for children's rights, and have shared a dorm room there ever since. Even when they told us, we can upgrade you to a hotel, we said, no, we'd like to share. And to my husband, my oak tree, my grounding presence, full of love, deep care, and wisdom. Strong sense of both responsibility and playfulness. We shared many moments, both different injuries. First, my bloody chin when we met, to Fred's bloody arm 2 weeks ago. We supported each other along the way. Fred mentioned getting COVID, which was one of the scariest moments. And when I can imagine most people, including myself, would be justifiably frustrated, irritated, and upset with the world with long COVID. You handled it with such profound care and grace, patience and strength of character, deepening my already strong respect for you as a person. And if you had been angry, I would have also deeply respected that too. Thank you for reminding me to pause, to care for the little things, watching the sunflowers grow and seeing the hummingbirds. After a few dates with Fred, I got some very sage-wise advice from a friend. I was going for a walk along the seawall. She said, you've run into a couple dates. Oh yeah, it was beautiful. We went for a nice snowy hike. Homemade chili and hot chocolate. And my friend Adriana, who's just had a little baby, Julia, congratulations, and is online, asked me, are you going to see him again? And my usual independent woman who doesn't need a partner and a bit of self-preservation self said, I'm very busy with work, my PhD, friends, family. And she looked at me in the eye, probably sensing a bit of magic that was arising. Said, Laura, if you don't like this guy, that's fine. But if you do, don't be a wuss. Very good advice. And I'm glad I took it. Fred, you create a space where it's okay to be vulnerable, where you make me feel alive and to expose those messy bits of being a person that you don't often want to share out. You make those spaces okay. I admire your excitement and your energy in all that you do, and desire to grow and to be involved in so many things. I have no worry for you when retirement arises, but don't worry, Dean Ed colleagues, he still has another couple decades of work left. Thank you for championing me on and inspiring me to be my best self. You make me a better human, and I'm so excited to continue our journey together. Thank you all for joining us here today. And everyone online, we would love to see you in person, but we're so happy you can join us online. I think we only have you for a little bit longer. And I know that Matt, the best man who's online, has an amazing video speech, which we'll be showing later on and sharing out with people who aren't here in person too. But next up,
what I think is happening next is photos for the two of you.
Oh, yeah.
So Fred and Laura are gonna, I'm still holding Matt, so he's here. Hi, Matt. Fred and Laura are gonna sneak off and take some photos with themselves and anyone else they want, and everyone else here is welcome to enjoy the space. There are some snacks set up on the back. That's your right over there. There's some drinks behind everybody, so enjoy some snacks and some drinks while Fred and Laura have their pictures taken, and then we're gonna have a picnic and a dance and the video of Matt. Yeah, come on.
Do we have Jenga as well?
Oh, we have Jenga. Where's Jenga?
Yeah, I think it's still up in the box up at the top.
Thanks, Angie. I just wanted to say before everybody left, I forgot quite an important part of what I wanted to say today. And we talked about our family and the Lucas family and the cottages on Bowen Island. And I just wanted to share with Laura that I know her grandma and grandpa and her Auntie Linda and her Nat and her Papa would have loved to have met Fred. And be very, very proud of the woman you have become.
Thanks, everybody.
Well, on that emotional moment, thank you for that, and making us cry at the beginning and the end of the ceremony. I want to thank everyone online for joining us today, and off you go, and let's all enjoy getting to know each other.
Do you have a vase for that? Yeah, we can stick it on. Oh, no, she's needing it for the photos.
Take one for the road.